Hi, I'm Figment, and today we're going to cover another half-rack effect known as the RV-7 digital reverb. The RV-7 could be said to be the younger brother to the RV-7000 advanced reverb unit. But we're not going to talk about the RV-7000. We're going to save that for a whole nother video. It's a more advanced unit with more bells and whistles compared. But the RV-7, with its simplicity, is still really useful and pretty powerful. So we're going to start from left to right, go over these parameters. There's not much on the back, just an audio in and out, and the possibility to control the decay with some kind of a CV control. Very simple unit, but pretty cool. So on the left here you have this toggle menu, which can toggle through, I think, 9 or 10 different algorithms, each algorithm being slightly different. Gated has a effect where the reverberation is abruptly cut off. Small room is kind of an algorithm for a small space, kind of cool for creating that kind of drum room effect. Hall is a large hall, a smooth reverb sound. Large hall is a larger hall than hall itself, with pronounced pre-delays. They're all slightly different algorithms than one another. Stereo echo, I think, has an echo between on the left and right of the reverb. The reverb will bounce back and forth. I think low density is a setting for if you're low on CPU power. It's a good setting to use to conserve some RAM. But to be honest, I don't remember all of the exact definitions for the algorithms. You can definitely check the manual, and they'll probably give you a really in-depth description of the 10 different algorithms. But for the sake of this little video, just know that there are 10 algorithms that emulate some kind of a space, a hall, a room, even some weird spaces. Like the last one, I think, is like a pan room, or stereo echoes, or kind of a bizarre setting, but still very useful. Kind of cool effect you can get out of it. But that basically sets the algorithm here, these buttons between those 10. The knob next to that option is the size knob. Now by default, the size being in the middle or set to 0 means that the size of the algorithm, if you will, is at its default. So the size of the hall is at its default, the size of large room is at its default, the size of low density is at its default if it's set to 0 or set to the center. As you increase that size knob to the plus side, it will increase the space of the selected algorithm. Same thing if you went the other way and brought it to a negative value, it would kind of decrease the size of the algorithm, make a smaller medium room, or a smaller large hall or large room. The decay is how long it takes the reverberations to I don't want to use the word decay again. You're not supposed to use the word in the definition, but it's how long it takes the reverberation to come to an end, or to stop, or to fade out, to finish. Um, so the higher the if the knob is raised, the longer the decay time from the original set algorithm, and to pull the decay knob back, it'll shorten the decay of the selected algorithm. So if you think about it, the size and the decay knob kind of tweak the algorithm's setting from its initial value. If you set these both to 0, the large room setting, the algorithm is exactly what it is, built in. You start messing with the decay, shortening it, increasing it, or messing with the size, shortening it or increasing it, you're kind of modifying the way the algorithm works. As you raise the damp knob, what that does, the more you raise it, the more it I don't want to use the word numbs, the more it kind of de-emphasizes the higher frequency, the high ranges in the frequency of the reverb. And that kind of gives a colorization to the reverb effect itself. Pretty useful. The wet dry, pretty straightforward. If you've ever seen a lot of half rack effects have this wet dry setting, but the dry is the unaffected signal, the wet is the affected signal, and the knob sets the balance between the two, what you're going to hear. All the way of the unaffected signal, all the way of just the affected signal, and somewhere in between of the two. If you're using this as an insert effect, then I would suggest, you can tweak this to wherever you'd like it, whatever fits the application you're using this reverb device for. If you're using this as a send effect, I would crank this all the way up and keep this on full wet, and then you would just adjust the send knob on the channel for whatever it is you're using. Just because, I don't know, that just makes more sense if you're going to use it as a send effect, to use it that way. But that was just a small caveat to add on there. Anyway, that's kind of it, believe it or not, with this little unit. It's really simple. You can describe it in about 5 minutes, but it's got a whole bunch of uses. Just try it out. Just throw anything into it or right before it, like a drum machine, a snare, or a synthesizer, and you'll try the different algorithms. You'll hear the difference between the large room and a hall versus a pan room, and so on and so forth. Play with the size, the decay, and the wet dry signal, and you'll be surprised the range of different room effects and spatial effects you can get using this really simple reverb device, but at the same time pretty powerful for what it's worth. So I guess that's kind of it. Like I said, half rack effects are really simple. No need to break this up into 5, 6 videos. Experiment with it, play around. It's the best way to figure out, get some hands-on experience with this little guy, and just experiment. Either way, I will see you guys in the next video. Comments, questions below, and I will talk to you later.